I love you like coal fire.
I love you like all fire too. Hello everyone, I'm Jane and today we're diving into Sunrise on Reaping, the Hunger Games prequel by Suzanne Collins. Ever wondered what really went down in Haymitch's games? What he lost, what he learned, and who he loved? Let's talk about pain, power, propaganda, and why this book might just break your heart. This book is all about Haymitch back when he was 16. He's in District 12 with his family, friends, and girlfriend. Then he gets picked for the Hunger Games. We already know he wins, but we don't know what he had to survive to make it out. The story shows how brutal the capital really is, not just on the arena, but after and before too. They see the pressure, the lies, and how even winning doesn't mean you're safe. It's a prequel, but I would recommend to read the Katniss trilogy first, then come back to this one to understand who Haymitch was before everything changed. And just a quick note, there are a few small spoilers coming up. They're not surprising, but if you really don't want to know anything about the book, maybe check out my another video instead. Suzanne Collins really shows how a dictatorship works. Like why many parents act for the cameras when they're already crying, saying goodbye to their kids. Well, real emotions aren't the point. They want to show, turn, hug, cry, but only from the left side. The lighting's better. The book also shows what happens when a rebellion shows up at the wrong time with the wrong person. Haymitch literally tries to destroy the games from the inside, and no one follows him. No crowds, no revolution. He's not some charismatic chosen one. No one's marketing him as the face of change. So he stays alone. And that's scary because it reminds us that even the truth gets ignored without the right branding. And there is a knife scene in the book. If you've read it, you know what I mean. And honestly, it hits hard because in a world where everything's controlled, a knife in your hand isn't power, it's a trap. Because if you stab one peacekeeper, tomorrow your whole family disappears. The real threat to a totalitarian system isn't someone swinging a blade, it's the person who refuses to play by the rules, the one who waits, organizes, inspires, and then strikes, not at a person, but at the system itself. If you are a Katniss trilogy fan, it's honestly cool seeing familiar faces pop up. Max, Varys, Beatty, Pluto, the old squad is here. And the parallels between Katniss and Haymitch are instant. They are both outsiders who won't bend. Both took on way too much responsibility, way too young. They love their people very much. They are natural born fighters. And then Haymitch shows up with Luella's body under Snow's balcony. Same energy as Katniss shooting the apple at the Capitol's dinner table. The plot kind of feels like a mix of Katniss games, familiar but a little too familiar. If you're hoping for wild twists, huge reveals, or last-minute surprises, they're not here at all. Some characters we know from the original trilogy feel really different here. Effie is one of them. In this book, we see that she met Haymitch when he was only 16. She was already part of the capital world, and that might be upsetting for some fans because she saw Haymitch suffer. She saw other kids die in the arena long before Katniss, and still she didn't feel much about Snow or the capital, and that's kind of sad. It makes you wonder, how can someone see all that pain and just stay the same? And then there's Snow. Honestly, he seems confused about who he really is. One second he's a scary dictator, the next he's acting like a little kid. He messes up Haymitch's life, but after Katniss wins, nothing. Her family is fine, even Gale is untouched. Why? In this book, Snow's cracks are more obvious. He doesn't hide the bleeding mouth or the poison. It's like he wants people to notice. But instead of being scary, he kinda looks funny, almost like a cartoon villain. And okay, but let's talk about District 1 and 2. This one hits the nerve for me, because why are they written like dumb muscle heads with one brain cell between them? Especially that interview with Panache, the whole stick go boom thing. Like, come on, they're kids raised to be cannon fodder. They're strong, sure, brutal, yeah, but not stupid. I really wanted to see them have depth, fear, feelings, instead of just abs and bloodlust. I think kids from 1 and 2 could have been the most brainwashed from of them all. Their identities erased before they even had a chance. Thought that killing is normal, and that's also tragic. Just not in a cute cinematic day, I guess. Because why do we split them up like that? These ones are bad, these ones are good. Why don't we care that career kids are victims too? Just victims from the other side? Maybe it's time to remember who their real enemy is. Lenore this, Lenore that. Haymitch talks about his girlfriend so much. I wouldn't be surprised if his first words to Snow were, "Hey, yeah, you're even at all, but have you seen Lenore?" At first it felt like the book was begging us to get emotional. Sometimes it was too much. He remembers her more than his own brother and mother. Every breath is basically a poem to Lenore. But after some time, Lenore stopped annoying me, and I realized their love wasn't as forced as I thought before. So no, you can't just say that Haymitch and Lenore relationship is kinda dumb. We only see their love through Haymitch's memories. It was light, romantic, sweet, and for once it wasn't Snow who stood in the way. Not at the start anyway, but Katniss and Peeta, that's a whole different story. Their love didn't come from two people just liking each other across a bakery counter. It was born in fear and fire. Before the games, Haymitch didn't have to make any life or death choices for Lenore. Their love was peaceful, soft, a safe space. It didn't hurt. Katniss and Peeta, they had to perform love for the cameras, for the capital, survive. That kind of love grows from pain, not from fairy tales. For them, love was never some dreamy escape. It was a choice, a way to stay alive. And somehow, through all that, they became each other's safe place. But Haymitch, we know how his story ends. Love didn't save him. It broke him permanently. Love can look different every time. Some are sweet, some are messy, some is born from deep pain, but none of them are bad. Katniss and Peeta's story feels bigger because we watched it grow. 3 books, a war, a revolution. We saw everything. Haymitch only got 1 book, and love? It wasn't even the main point. So yeah, every kind of love matters. That's what I think about Sunrise on the Reaping. Not a perfect book, but one that opens up really important conversations. Now it's your turn. Have you read it? Did you like it? What do you think about Haymitch? And do you believe in his love story? Let me know in the comments, and see you next time.